So Mike, you were involved in 3 amazing companies at the very, very beginning of each one. How did you know when the right time was to leave?
Wow, that's a very good question and complex. Steris, which I was there for over 11 years, which was a great story in and of itself. But one of the things and Steris went from virtually 0 to $1 billion in about 10 years, so it was a great story. But what I found out is I used to have this recurring dream when I was in high school. And this dream is that I would build a company from scratch in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, that happened to name of Cardinal to it. And this dream never stopped, and I always remembered that dream. So as things were going quite well at Steris, there were a lot of things that were going on. One is I would have learned more, I would have made more money, but there was one thing I wasn't going to get anymore at Steris. I wasn't going to get younger. And the most fun time I had in my life, in both the beginning of Steris and the beginning of Health America, was the formative stage of building a company. So this was the perfect lineup of experience. I needed capital to help build Cardinal, and youth, because it takes an enormous amount of energy to build a company, and there's a lot of 24/7, 365 experiences. So the time seemed to be right. I was the CFO of a publicly traded company. I had gained the experience I thought necessary to venture off on my own. So that's when I knew it was the right time for me to leave Steris.
What made you leave the HMO?
That's a good question. It's a good story. My boss got a job offer out of town in Washington, D.C., and he wanted to take me with me. So he resigned for me. We really didn't have much of a choice. He resigned for me, ended up following to D.C., and we put together an integrated healthcare system in Washington, D.C. Then after a couple of years or so, I wanted to run something. I wanted to sit in the captain seat and see what it was like to be that person. So I was actually offered a job back in my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, to do a turnaround of an HMO there called Western Reserve Health Plan. So that's kind of my HMO story and what led to what. So I was really kind of forced to leave and follow.